Assalamu alaikum dear students. So here I am with yet another unit. In the last unit you learned how is it that we invite people. Also how is it that if somebody else has invited you, you accept or decline invitations. Now this unit, unit 7, is about entertainment. You will learn what vocabulary and what expressions you use when you talk about entertainment. We all entertain ourselves in certain ways. Entertainment is an integral part of our very busy lives. So, there are many ways people entertain themselves. Sometimes it's the TV programs, at other times it may be films. Some people like to study, some people may go out hiking or going to places that interest them. Let's see what are some of the things that we can learn in this unit. One, you can say new vocabulary that you are going to learn in this unit is a concept, is an idea, genre. You might have heard about genre already, or maybe you might have read it somewhere. But I hope you have this idea that while on the face of it, G-E-N-R-E may not look like genre, but when you pronounce it, you call it genre. Now here, what is genre? It's a particular type of literature, painting, music, film, or other art forms that are considered a class because of its special characteristics. By class here, we mean a group. So all kinds of art forms, including painting, literature, music, film, all these, when they have special characteristics, they are a particular type of art form, they are called genres. For example, in literature, there are many genres. There is poetry, there are essays, there are novels, there are plays, there are short stories. So these are all different genres that come under the head literature. So all art forms manifest themselves in different forms, in different types, in different groups, and those groups are called genres. Now, interestingly, you must see that poetry looks very different from a short story looks very different from a novel, and a novel looks very different from a play. Similarly, if you talk about the entertainment world, you will see that on TV we watch so many different genres. For example, there are dramas, there are fantasies, there are animated movies or animations, there are comedies, there are action movies, there are crime stories, there are soap operas, thrillers, and talk shows. So these are some of the genres that are related with the world of TV. So on television, people watch genres according to their taste. Some people may be more interested in watching dramas. There may be others who are more interested in watching animations. You must be wondering, what are soap operas? You must have seen dramas on television that have kind of 100 or maybe more episodes, and then sometimes you watch them every day. Those dramas are broadcast every day for 1 hour or so, and they may have more than 100 episodes. So those are, in everyday language, they are called soaps. So all these are various genres of TV. You must talk to your friends and your class fellows and find out what genres interest them very much and what are some other genres that they wouldn't waste time on. We all have our own preferences when it comes to watching certain genres on TV or reading some genres from literature. Some people may be very fond of reading poetry, while others may enjoy novels far more than poetry. Now, this unit also talks about quantities. Quantities and amount of something are again a very important part of our speech. Human interaction, a large part of human interaction in fact, has this thing about quantities, about amount of things. So there are many expressions that we use while we are talking about quantities. On the screen you can see a list of words that are used for this purpose. There is few, a few, little, a little, many, much, a lot of, lots of, any, plenty of. These are some of the quantities that you must have talked about yourself, or you must have heard people using. There are other quantities that are in fixed number. For example, kilogram, centimeter, milliliters. Now those are fixed quantities. But when quantities are not fixed, then you talk about them in these words. Let us see what each one of these means. Many people wonder what is the difference between using few and a few. Now you use few when things are not many, जब चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं हैं और आप उनकी कमी को highlight करना चाह रहे हैं. When you say I have few friends, so you are trying to tell people that you do not have many friends. जब आप किसी चीज़ की कमी को हाईलाइट करते हैं, उसके कम होने को हाईलाइट करते हैं, तो आप few का वर्ड यूज़ करते हैं. Similarly, a few आप वहाँ इस्तेमाल करते हैं जहाँ पर there are some things, जितनी आप expect कर रहे थे उसके मुकाबले में कुछ ज़्यादा चीज़ें हैं. So you can see at the examples that are given, a few people arrived early. Now when you say few people arrived early means all of them didn't. जितने लोग invited थे उनमें से बहुत कम लोग जो थे वो वक्त पर पहुँचे. Then I have a few friends, like I have some friends. It isn't that I don't make friends. I have a few friends. Similarly, little and little. Little, you use little when again you're highlighting the less amount of something. जब आप किसी चीज़ के कम होने को highlight कर रहे हैं, when you by little you mean not much, तो उस वक्त आप little use करते हैं. लेकिन अगर quantity sufficient है और some के meanings में आ रही है तो आप a little use करते हैं. Look at the examples. I have little money. Now you have little money means आपके पास पैसे कम हैं, उतने जितने होने चाहिए उतने नहीं हैं. Then you have little money. But she saves a little money every month. Now she is saving up on some money. This is the difference between using little and a little. Now many and much. This is a very important set of words and quantifiers that you need to know, because many people mistake while they use many or much. Now many is used with countable nouns. You cannot use many with milk or with water or with any other liquid that is uncountable. So you use many with things that can be counted. For example, persons, chairs, tables, books, papers, and many more things. For example, there are many children at the party. On the other hand, much is used with either mass nouns. Now mass nouns are a type of nouns that we have already discussed in one of the units under the head collective nouns. हमने जब noun के types किए थे parts of speech में, तो हमने देखा था कि collective nouns होते हैं. Collective nouns को ही sometimes mass noun भी कहा जाता है. Collective nouns के लिए जो uncountable हों उनके लिए आप much use करते हैं. So you cannot say that this person has many honesty in him, but you can say this person is much honest. So I have much respect for you, because respect is an uncountable noun. So anything that cannot be counted, कोई भी चीज़ जिसे आप हाथों से गिन नहीं सकते, वो uncountable के ज़मरे में आती है, और वहाँ पर आप much का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. A lot of. There are a lot of people at the ceremony. lots of, there is lots of food in the cupboard. अगर आप गौर करें तो आप देखेंगे कि lot of, lots of and a lot of तकरीबन एक जैसे मानी में ही इस्तेमाल होता है. Any. Now there is something very interesting about the use of any. Any आप उस वक्त यूज़ करते हैं जब क्वांटिटी स्पेसिफाइड या लिमिटेड ना हो. लेकिन इंटरेस्टिंग बात यह है कि आप any का यूज़ तब करते हैं जब आप नेगेटिव या इंट्रोगेटिव सेंटेंस बनाते हैं, जबकि उसी सेंटेंस के अफर्मेटिव के लिए आप सम यूज़ करेंगे इंस्टेड ऑफ एनी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, डिड यू ब्रिंग एनी ब्रेड? नाउ हियर दिस इज एन इंट्रोगेटिव सेंटेंस, यू आर आस्किंग अ क्वेश्चन, सो यू आर यूजिंग एनी. Similarly, if somebody responds to it by saying, no, I did not bring any bread. Now this is a negative sentence and you again use any. But if somebody responds to this in affirmation, अगर एक affirmative statement है, एक positive statement है जिसमें no या not नहीं है, तो फिर आप any की बजाय some use करते हैं. I have got some bread. You don't say, yes, I have got any bread. No. I have got some bread. But if you are asking a question or you're using a negative sentence with a no, then you use any. Similarly, plenty of. Now, plenty of is used in the same sense as lot of, when things are too many. And sometimes it may, mostly plenty of is used with things that are countable and also with things that are uncountable. The good thing about the word or the phrase plenty of is that you can use it with both countable and uncountable nouns. Look at the example here. There are plenty of options. जब भी आप noun के बारे में उसकी quantity के हवाले से बात करते हैं तो जो लफ्ज़ आप इस्तेमाल करते हैं वो quantifiers कहलाते हैं. Quantifiers या तो adjectives होते हैं या adjectival phrases होते हैं और वो refer करते हैं quantity को, amount को या degree of something को, degree of the noun that they are talking about. Then there are two new quantifiers that are as much as and as many as. Now here you will keep in mind the use of much and many. And when you are using them as much as or as many as, this means that you are making comparison between quantities. So when you compare quantities, you use these. He likes hockey as much as he likes football. Now you are comparing a person's liking for hockey and their liking for basketball. So when you compare their liking is something uncountable, so you use much. He likes hockey as much as he likes basketball. With quantifiers, another concept that this chapter talks about is that of intensifiers. As the very name suggests, intensifiers are those words that kind of strengthen the idea, that make the idea strong, because intensifying means making something strong. Now, those adverbs or adverbial phrases that strengthen the meaning of other expressions and show emphasis are called intensifiers. For example, when you say something is beautiful, you are expressing your liking for that thing. But if you say this is very beautiful, this is quite beautiful, this is extremely beautiful. Now these quite, extremely and very, they are intensifying your liking. They are intensifying the beauty of that element, the beauty of that object. Now, these are called intensifiers, but unlike quantifiers that were adjectives or adjectival phrases, intensifiers are adverbs or adverbial phrases. So, they are used to stress an idea, to emphasize an idea. You have been given a list of words that can be used as intensifiers. The first word is very. Very can synonymously be used with extremely, absolutely, immensely, greatly. You can use it in the same sense. So, it is used to make adjectives stronger. It's a very interesting story. But keep this in mind, there are some already very strong adjectives with which you do not use very. I have given you two examples here, excellent and enormous. Enormous means very big. So, while it already means very big, you do not need to use an extra very with it. Similarly, while excellent itself means very good, very brilliant, you do not use very excellent. So, those adjectives that are already very strong in meaning, you do not use intensifiers with them, especially very. Then there is this intensifier, enough. Now, one interesting thing about enough as an intensifier is that though this intensifier adds to the meaning of the adjective, like you are using an adjective, but you want to add, say something more, then you use enough. But the interesting thing is that enough follows or comes after the adjective. Earlier we saw, in the case of very, we saw that very comes before the adjective. In the first example, it is a very interesting story. Interesting is the adjective and very comes before the adjective. While in the case of enough, enough comes after the adjective. Look at the example here. You are old enough to drive a car. So, old is the adjective and enough follows it. Then there are other intensifiers like much, far, a lot, quite a lot. Now, these were quantifiers also, but while they were expressing quantity, they were quantifiers. In this case, these words, when they act as intensifiers, they are used with other adjectives to maybe stress or emphasize or strengthen their meaning. For example, he is much older than me. Now, you are older is an adjective and you are kind of emphasizing that he is not just older than me, he is much older. That means the age difference is quite a lot. Similarly, he is a far better player than his friend. Adjectives are also used as intensifiers. Keep this in mind that sometimes adjectives themselves are used as intensifiers. For example, when you say the plan is a total failure. Now, total is itself an adjective, but you are using it with a noun failure to intensify, to strengthen, to add to the meaning of the noun failure. You are using adjective to intensify the meaning. So, this is how you use intensifiers. So, adjectives, because they add to the meanings of the nouns, they intensify the meanings of the nouns, they themselves act as intensifiers many times. So, this is how you see that the words that express quantity or the words that express you can say amount or degree can be used both as quantifiers and in some cases they may be used as intensifiers. In English language, in order to enhance meaning, we use quantifiers and intensifiers. So, in this unit, you learned how is it that we talk about entertainment. The new things that you learned were how to talk about quantities. So, you may have used these words many times, but I know that there are many people who kind of make this error of using many instead of much, or they may use few where a few is better. So, you must remember how is it that these quantifiers are used. Similarly, it is interesting to note that some people use very as an intensifier with the words like perfect. Now, perfect itself is 100%. So, when you say very perfect, that does not make sense because there is nothing above that. So, you must be aware of the use of the intensifiers and quantifiers, so that whenever you write and you speak, you are using correct forms of language. So, this was all for this present unit. In the next unit, we will be learning something new. Till then, thank you very much.